There are things that can disrupt the flow of God's power through a believer, or things that are entirely incompatible with it. We've talked about being fruitful is a function of God's power flowing through your life. There are things that can disrupt that flow. A life of sin is incompatible with covenant relationship with God and stands as an obstacle to intimacy. Also, immaturity and vain motives are impediments to experiencing God's power. James 4:1-3. What is causing quarrels and fights among you? Don't they come from the evil desires that war within you? You want what you don't have, so you scheme and kill to get it. You're jealous of what others have, but can't get it, so you fight and wage war to take it away from them. Yet you don't have what you want because you don't ask God for it. And even when you do ask, you don't get it because your motives are all wrong. You only want what will give you pleasure. Now I'm going to read that again. I want you to keep in mind, he's writing to Christians. Okay, so let's know what he's talking about is going on. What's causing quarrels and fights among you? Don't they come from the evil desires that war at and within you? You want and you don't have, so you scheme and kill to get it. You're jealous of what others have, but you can't get it, so you fight and wage war to take it away from them. Yet you don't have what you want because you don't ask God for it. And even when you do ask, you don't get it because your motives are wrong. You only want what will give you pleasure. Here James harshly criticizes the Christians to whom he was writing for making foolish requests out of vain and greedy motives. He teaches that their prayers are unfulfilled because they're born of jealousy and covetousness. Much of the dissatisfaction with life experienced by people in the United States is a consequence of living in a commercialistic society that glorifies and glamorizes extreme materialistic gain and falsely points to it as the American dream. This propaganda acculturates people to covet the accomplishments and acquisitions of others. Prayers born of these desires are not the prayers of the righteous, rather they are the prayers of the vain. We live in America where everybody's looking for bling, the celebrity, they're looking for the glamour. That's what's propped up. That's what is propped up as the American dream. I don't think that's the American dream. It's a different conversation to have, but that's what's promoted. And so we're always looking at what others got, wanting to get what somebody else got. That's the rat race that we've been acculturated to. And so we pray for stuff. Sometimes the reason that we want it is because we see somebody else got it. And suddenly, because I see somebody else got a new car, somebody else got a better job, somebody else got a higher standard of life, because that's what drives my prayer. I see them, now I want it. That's not the way it works. What's that Geico? It's not Geico. It's taking a shot at Geico. When the woman's got all her stuff on the wall, talking about I am friend you, and that's not how it works. That's not how any of this stuff works.
Right.
Prayers born of these desires, not the prayers of the righteous, they are prayers of the vain. God has little interest in feeding the narcissism, pride, vanity, or enabling immaturity. This is true both on a secular and a spiritual level. So in other words, when you hear people within, and I will say use the word churches right now, who are praying for miracles because they want to see miracles happen, it's not happening. That's not the way it works. They want to see somebody get saved because it will make them feel good about themselves. You're not going to see the outbreak and the things that you want if the thing that's motivating you is I saw something happen in somebody else's church and so it ought to happen in my church. That's not how any of it works. When we talked about this before. When we want to see miracles, when we look for miracles, miracles happen because God is looking to reveal himself in a new way. Not because he's interested in making you feel good about yourself and making people think that you are spiritually deep or that you preached a good message. Motives matter, and because God knows the heart better than any of us do, it behooves believers to search out their heart and be honest about what drives their desires. That's part of the process. Why do I want this? Do I want a degree because I'm passionate about a subject matter? Or do I want a degree because it will make me feel more complete as an individual? Those are two different ways of looking at the same question. And if you're looking for and I've always said, and I believe, if you're looking for for validation of your person from a piece of paper, that's a pretty flimsy way of going about it. If you want and are passionate about a subject matter, and that's what you need to get a degree in, go for it. But if you think that's going to make you a better or different person, you are going to be sadly mistaken. So when we pray about stuff, when we're looking for God to partner with us in things, we need to understand the reality of why we want this. What's driving it? Is it really my passion? Is it really that I want to work with, if I'm doing a work for God, do I want to do this work for God so that way people can say I'm something? Or do I want to do a work for God because this is really what I'm passionate about? I think that I can help and bless somebody. And